Welcome to class. Another episode of Ask the Teacher. This is the home of answers. And like always, we are shooting this from the Waffles Suites off Kanu Street, Nakuru. A good place to be, a good place to bring you people. This particular episode is being shot inside one of their rooms, and it's a nice place to be. The question this day for this episode, this apparently comes from a parent. It doesn't come from a young person. And the question is, how can I help my child about choosing their careers? This is a parent asking, how can I help my child about choosing their careers? Interesting question coming from a parent. And I say it's interesting because one of the biggest fights we have had between teenagers and their parents is where parents want to impose their dreams on their children. But when you have a parent who really wants to see what it is that their son or daughter would like to do, it is a very encouraging thing. Having said that, I would want to make one or two observations. Remember, we said that we will tackle questions in this place from 3 points of view: scriptural truth, acceptable societal norms, and common sense. So how do I help my son? How do I help my daughter? I will start by number one, saying that every parent who has a child must have observed their child. And when you observe your child, you are able to tell whether the child are more artistic or they are more STEM-oriented, whether they are introverts or extroverts, and there are a number of things that you need to observe about your child as your children grow. But having said that, it is important to say that for purposes of careers, there are other players who come on board. There will be teachers, there will be career counselors, other people who come on board to try and help our children. Before we came to issues like CBC, before that, if you asked many children, and even now, if you ask many children, people will tell you they want to be doctors, they want to be engineers, they want to be pilots. But how many doctors, engineers, and pilots do we eventually get? Not everybody. I wanted to be a pilot. That was my dream. Why? Because I used to be top of my class, and everybody thought bright children should be pilots or doctors. I had a big quarrel with my father who wanted me to be a teacher. Look how I ended and the way I argued. Now, one of the things that we need to know is that a career is something that someone is going to do for the rest of their lives. So it must be something that will be acceptable to them and something that will be fulfilling to them. Unfortunately, many times when parents are thinking about careers, we think about fame and money. But every time we need to think about careers, we should look at careers from three things. Number one, the potential of the child. What is a child capable of doing? Number two, the passion of the child. What are the interests of the child? And once you are able to look at this, the purpose again of the child, as you work with the child, you can know what are they really made to do. The passion. What are they passionate about? What are these things that excite them? And when we are speaking to teenagers, we also ask, what are these things that make you mad? Things that you look at and feel, this needs to be addressed. This should be addressed. What are those things? And then what is their potential? Because if you have a kid who says they want to be a doctor, but they cannot make anything above a D in the sciences, then you have a gap. And so, about helping children on careers, I would encourage that parents don't try to do it by themselves if they don't know how to do it. And I will encourage that the directing of our children becomes a multiple approach issue where the parents, the teachers, and the coaches that are around the child can help the child identify what they have. And one of the biggest messes we have is where the parent would want to impose on the child what the child should do. It is important to remember that each child is an individual. Even if your firstborn is a doctor and your secondborn is a doctor, it's not necessarily that your thirdborn becomes a doctor. Each child is an individual. So that should be the first spectacle that every parent should put on, that each child is an individual. And so while you are thinking about what your child should become, you must take away from your thinking that you need to direct your child, because they come as individuals. They have inbuilt capacities of doing that. They come inbuilt. They are called competencies, things people come with. Like those of us in the talking professions, the counselors, the preachers, the broadcasters, we come wired to speak. And some of us, you can't put us in an office. So know that the child is an individual. Walk with the child, interact with the child. What is their potential? What is their capacity? What are they able to do? What are their interests? And then from those things, together with the other people that you're working with, the teachers and maybe the life coaches, help your child. And I would want to submit this, because as a nation, we are not at a place where every parent can be able to do this. That as a society, we help out, help direct the young people. The amount of young people who are discovering after their first degrees that they went for the long course is so high. But we can help our children right from the beginning. Let's understand them, let's work with them, let's seek professional help. I repeat again, let's understand them, let's work with them, let's seek professional help. That's what the teacher has to say.